Hello, my beautiful friends and loyal listeners. It's always a pleasure to spend my time with you on the airwaves. Thank you for listening and interacting with me on social media. That truly makes it all worthwhile. Please make sure to follow me. That's Zen with an X at Zen Sams. Also, remember that we are now on TV. Tune in at watch.kpmedia.tv and catch a moment of Zen on the Impact Live channel Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All episodes of A Moment of Zen are now available on demand. Download the KP Media TV app on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Android TV to access all the shows. Today, we have a great show lined up for you. As usual, a mix of celebrities, impressive citizens, VIPs, and of course, tons of fun. Our guests are quite impressive. On our influencer segment, we have celebrity Doctor Roya Hassad. She has a rather huge social media following with over 500,000 followers. Check her out on IG at Roya Hassad. She's the medical director and founder of the Hope, Life, and Dream Centers that are prominent anti-aging medical centers here in New York. We're chatting all things preventative medicine, the importance of giving back, and anti-aging techniques. Then on My Digital World segment, brought to you by the one and only Tempus, a Burkhan World Project, we are featuring Anna Khan, Global Director of Marketing and PR at Burkhan World, and Paul Caldwell, Chairman and CEO of Caldwell Soames. Anna, Paul, and I are going to be looking at the original Two Digital Corporation, one of the most trusted NFT platforms, their OG2D.com platform, and how it all fits into Burkhan Films project Beyond the Border, which is Burkhan Media's first division project, crypto-funded documentary. Very exciting stuff. Then on sports and hip-hop culture, we have the amazing 8-year-old boxer Ruby Tucker and her incredible trainer, her dad, Kiwan. We're chatting all things boxing and surprisingly kids. And lastly, I will be transporting you all the way to the Gravesend portion of Brooklyn, where I'm going to take you behind the scenes on the set of the Amazon Prime TV series Gravesend, chatting with actor, writer, producer, and creator of the series himself, William DeMeo. Now, I thought it was going to be very fitting to discuss how our supply chain issues are going to be affecting our holiday shopping. Christmas trees, sweaters, and gifts are facing a shipping mess. Demand is driving optimism this year, but kinks in the supply chain, including bottlenecks along various points in the transportation system, could cut into supply. We're hearing talk about potential shortages of toys, trees, and yes, maybe even holiday sweaters. Clogs clearly exist in the supply chain system as a backlog of cargo ships creates a traffic jam in the Pacific Ocean, currently right now happening in real time. Experts warn that the U.S. trucking system is also short on drivers. The American Christmas Tree Association, for example, predicted that both live and artificial trees will be hit by holiday shortages and price hikes too. 30% up this season. Now, all of the stimulus money has provided that people should be spending more on services, but in fact, they are spending it more on goods. And incredible gains in the stock market and cryptocurrency only gave some people even more buying power. Well, that's some food for thought. I recommend you start stocking up, or guess what? Santa may just forget your kid this year. Back in just a minute with our influencer segment featuring celebrity Doctor Roya Hassad, anti-aging guru. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go for the stakes and the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I am your host, Zen Sams. Now, up in just a few, in our influencer segment, we have celebrity Dr. Roya Hassad. You can check her out on the internet at drroya.com. She has 3 New York locations, Long Island, Queens, and Manhattan. She has a rather huge following on social media. Check her out on IG at Roya Hassad with 2 S's. She's the medical director and founder of the Hope, Life and Dream Centers, prominent anti-aging medical centers here in New York. Now, according to a recent report, the global anti-aging market accounted for approximately 112 billion in 2020 and is expected to reach 163 billion by 2028. Skin aging is a complex biological process influenced by a combination of factors such as age, exposure to ultraviolet rays, pollution, lifestyle related factors such as smoking, restricted sleep, diet and nutrition, harsh soaps, stress and depression, etc. Repeated facial expressions, I'm guilty of that one, amongst others. Then we have a rising old population and an elevated consumer demand for anti-aging products. And of course, those are projected to boost the growth of the anti-aging market even further. Welcoming now is Dr. Roya. She's an award-winning family physician, educator, and philanthropist. I spoke to her briefly last week, and I can tell you that she's very passionate about anti-aging and regenerative medicine. She is affiliated with top-notch New York medical institutes, and she has been recognized as one of the top anti-aging physicians in the U.S. Welcome to the show, beautiful lady.
Thank you so much for having me in your show. I'm very excited, and I want to start by morning mantra today. I want to share every single day. I start my day with this phrase: I'm strong and healthy. I am full of nourishment and self-care. My immune system is strong. I am grateful that my health is always getting better and high energy flows through my daily. I will always remain consistent and continue to show love to my body the way it deserves.
Amen. Now, you are a celebrity doctor. You're Iranian by heritage, a trailblazer in your field, and you say that you treat patients as a whole, regardless if they are coming in for Botox or hair transplants. What are the biggest requests? Is it restoring their youth internally or externally, so to speak? Meaning, is your average patient asking you for aesthetical transformations with their appearance or internal ones?
Well, when they come to me, they're looking for enhance their health total body and health transformation. They coming for some aesthetic procedures, and then when I connect with them, we get through the root of their issue, and then I will approach that 360 degree, and we connect with their and address all their problems. So, and that's my niche. I truly believe body and mind are 100% connected. And when I want to deal with my patient, I want to connect with them, I will truly empower them emotionally and then address all their health issues as well.
Oh, you're a one-stop shop. I'm coming to you. Now, tell me, what is the most important anti-aging product?
Right now, PRP and non-invasive, procedures such as radio frequencies are very, very demand. They're very, a lot of my patients requesting that because there is absolutely no downtime and the results are fascinating.
And what is this PRP method anti-aging technique entail?
So PRP is platelet-rich protein. So a patient comes to us for different reasons. They may want to rejuvenate their face, their body, or they come for the hair loss. So we draw the blood and then we centrifuge it. We collect the plasma, and then in the plasma there are some growth hormones. So we introduce that by injecting this serum to their body, to their face, and to the area which they have hair loss. And what it does, it promotes the blood flow and then the growth of the cell. In 3 to 6 weeks, patients getting amazing result. Of course, with one treatment, one treatment is not enough. So I usually recommend 3 to 6 treatment with the interval of 4 weeks.
This is fascinating stuff. So you are drawing blood, and then this is from the patient, and then you're spinning it, basically extracting what you need to extract and then reinserting it into the problem area, basically, is what you said.
Yes.
Wow, this is where medicine has come these days. It's fascinating. Now, this is another interesting question, because this is affecting everybody, young and old. But the global diabetes devices market size was estimated at approximately 26 billion in 2020, and is expected to reach about 29 billion by the end of this year. How have you been successful in treating your patients with diabetes?
So as you know, we have two different type of diabetes, type 1 and 2. The most common one is type 2, which the insulin is, the body is resistant to insulin, which is produced in the body, versus type 1, which patient doesn't produce insulin because the beta cell in the pancreas is attacked by patient's immune system, and it destroys, so patient don't have any insulin. So there are so many transformation in a treatment of diabetes. There are G1/P1 receptors agonists are coming to the markets, and we have SGLT type 2. These are the new medications. The first one is basically they help the body to have less resistant to insulin. The second one is block kidney from reabsorbing the blood sugar to the body.
Now, is this a different approach than an endocrinologist would take, so to speak, or is this the conventional medicine that one would prescribe if you went to your endocrinologist and you had diabetes?
That's a conventional, but I want to add to this. There are, for the last 10 years, there are some innovative technology by a stem cell therapy came to the market, and a lot of doctors are interested to use the stem cell.
Wow.
The stem cell can be can contracted from the embryonic cell, or can be contracted from the patient's body fat cell. And then what we can we purify it, and then we reintroduce it to the body. And what it does is basically regenerate the pancreas, so the own body heal and produce insulin, or it can help the the downtime complications of the diabetes type 2, such as cardiovascular disease or kidney disease, will be reversed.
That's incredible, fascinating stuff, Dr. Roya. I mean, you're at the really at the epicenter of all of these advancements and research, which is great. Now, very quickly, because we have about 2 minutes, I don't want to rush it, but this is important. The global alopecia market, which we're talking about hair loss, was valued at about 7.6 billion back in 2020. Now it's expected to expand at a compound annual growth, otherwise known as a CAGR, of 8.1% from 2021 to 2028. Now, according to the data published by the American Hair Loss Association, it stated that over 95% of hair loss in men is caused due to androgenetic alopecia. What proprietary methods do you use to treat hair loss in men and women? We have about a minute.
So as you know, there are different causes. The most common is hereditary, then hormonal imbalance, there's stress, some nutrition deficiency, some existing condition, radiation. But the most common, and then one of the most fascinating technology we use again for hair loss treatment is PRP again.
Back to PRP.
I mentioned to you, I also, when I see my patient, I have a full comprehensive evaluation. We go through the whole the medical history, and then we discover if they have any underlying issues, we address that. And
beautiful.
That's very that's very helpful to treat the hair loss.
No, this is incredible stuff, because you are a one-stop shop. Literally, you are a doctor that addresses all areas. You look under the hood, you do your research, you get to know your patient, and that's what I love about you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was very refreshing talking to you, because you are so scientific based, but you're also such a beautiful person inside that it made this interview it went from, your average medical interview to something much more fun. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. And the last thing I still truly believe love is the most powerful medicine. So I encourage my patient to love themselves and share their love with the world.
You got it. And we're going to share our love right back at you guys. That is Dr. Roya. Check her out, drroya.com. Check her out all over social media. She's an influencer of sorts. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OG Pay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OG Pay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out ogpay.com.
Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to my Digital World segment brought to you by Tempus, a Burkhan World Project. You can go ahead and check them out on burkhan.world. With its base in Washington, D.C., Burkhan has been investing in projects that believes will have a positive impact on society. Founder of Burkhan World Investments, Shahal Khan, is often quoted saying, "We must plant a seed today to nourish it so that it may yield a forest tomorrow for our children." And with that notion, all projects of Burkhan World are designed to give back to society in some capacity. Now, coming on in just a few minutes, we have Anna Khan, Global Director of Marketing and PR at Burkhan World. This beautiful friend of mine, wife, mother, artist, and incredible marketing executive, brings over 22 years of experience, knowledge, and expertise in the entertainment and hospitality industries. From MGM to recording labels to the tech world, Anna is an integral part of Burkhan's family office. And of course, Paul Caldwell, Chairman and CEO of Caldwell Soames. He's a returning favorite. He is the show's main contributor on our innovation and tech segment. Now, interestingly enough, one of the companies outperforming in the Caldwell Soames portfolio is OG2D, Original 2 Digital, and they happen to be at the epicenter of Burkhan World's next chapter. Today, Anna, Paul, and I will be looking at Original 2 Digital and how it all fits into Burkhan's film project Beyond the Border. Now, Beyond the Border is Burkhan World's first media division project, the first crypto-funded documentary about cultural inclusion directed by Nasir Kande, an Indian native of Kashmir. And it's the story of two Europeans who spent a few weeks on vacation in Afghanistan with the aim of giving groups of girls and boys as many snowboards as possible so that by practicing a sport, they can continue to think and hope for a better future. The premise of the documentary is inclusion. Now, if you go to og2d.com, you're going to discover a platform that connects passionate fans with 100% authenticated and original NFT collectibles in art, entertainment, and memorabilia. Now, the platform was created to bring together diehard creators and collectors to buy, sell, and trade 100% original and authenticated NFT collectibles within a unified and secure ecosystem. And that's really important these days. Now, how does this all fit together? Well, here to break it all down for us and connect the pieces are Anna and Paul. Welcome back, Paul. I feel like I see you every week now.
Hi, Zen. How are you?
Welcome, stunning Anna. This is your first time on our show. Usually you're behind the scenes, but today, Anna, you decided to take center stage. Tell us why this documentary is so special to Burkhan World and specifically to the CEO and founder, Shahal Khan, and what role you play on taking this project to the next level and what you plan on doing with the proceeds.
Wonderful. So, we felt, with the tragic events that are happening right now and are unfolding, we felt that it was really necessary that we pushed this documentary up to the next level. So we got into the Venice Film Festivals, and it got amazing reviews. It touched people, and it really got people in the vision that there's still good life out there, even in a war zone, it doesn't matter. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be NFTing this documentary, and we partnered up with OG2D and our artist Kirill Jeliovsky, and he's from Washington, D.C., and he's got the Orange Project right now. It's the longest standing live art. It goes all the way through Embassy Row. I think that's like from Georgetown to the Vice President's. And, you know, it's amazing to be able to work with him and take his art and turn it into a custom NFT telling the story of this film just through one art piece, and taking this, you know, analog art and digitalizing it and putting it on the platform so that we could take the proceeds and recycle the proceeds to create more documentaries and aid in these nations that need it right now.
That's beautiful. And it's always about
Thank
giving
you.
back. I know that a Burkhan, anything having to do with a Burkhan World Project is always about giving back to society. Now, Paul, NFTs are now looking to shape the future of the film industry. They have already begun taking over the music industry, and now they're turning to the film and TV sector. Case in point, we have animated series Stoner Cats, the show which features Ashton Kutcher, Chris Rock, and Jane Fonda. They raised $8.4 million at the end of July in a sale of NFTs. That grant basically holders the executive right to watch episodes, selling out in only 35 minutes. Now, every major production company is looking into using NFTs to drive fan engagement and find new revenue lines. And we have OG2D. You seem to be ahead of the curve here. What role will they play in taking Burkhan's documentary beyond the border to its next tech level?
Thanks, Zen and Anna. Nice to see you on here. The reality is an NFT platform or an NFT marketplace is really a context wrapper for content. NFTs started with inside marketplaces. You go to a marketplace, you could buy, sell, trade collectibles through these non-fungible tokens. The term NFT comes off the tongue very easily, but if one really understands what tokens are, it becomes clear, or more clear, typically in a conversation as to why this would make sense for a firm like ours to be invested in a platform like an OG2D through Original Digital. And we find that projects like Anna's, like this project that they have, it's a world-changing kind of project. It's an impact project, high impact project. It's not a low impact project. So it's relevant, it's meaningful, and it matters. And so at OG2D, the content that the folks are looking for over there are high value, relevant, meaningful content. And it doesn't just have to be art. It doesn't have to be, you know, a film or whatever. It just needs to matter. And I think that, and it has to be original, because that's the whole point of OG2D, original to digital. So there's an authenticity and authentication and authentifying process that goes on there. And then after that, then some unique things can be done, because the platform is built on the Algorand blockchain, allowing the tokens to be both non-fungible and to have fungibility aspects to them. I'm not going to get into all of that here. We don't have time. The point is, it allows a project like Anna's project to live and become more of a verb than just a noun and just something popping up. It's, as you mentioned, with the entertainment business. That's one of OG2D's main platforms, is the series drop. They pride themselves on, they're the first platform on Algorand. They're the first platform to do series drops in both ebook, audiobook, and animated formats, starting with Amy Winehouse and going on and on. And then with Anna's project, this thing is just amazing. I looked at it and we thought it through, and in the ideation meetings that went on to decide if it made sense for the two things to come together and for OG2D to be the right context for that, really important.
It's very important. And Anna, it's amazing to see that now here you are, head of global marketing, and you are at a point in time in your career where it's no longer just about the regular advertising models. You are now sitting here and we're talking about how to take art and really throw it into the technical aspect and really allow it's almost like think of it like crowdfunding almost in a more legitimate way with a lot of accuracy. Tell me about
Exactly.
tell me about the NFTs, and the process and how it matters in the bigger picture for all things that a Burkhan World is involved in.
Sure. Actually, let me take it a step back. So, what's unique about this project is it's actually the first documentary that was funded by crypto. So, from the start, our idea was to keep this project basically on the blockchain. Let's create doors to open for other films, documentaries. I don't want to say we were the first people to coin turning a project into an NFT, because right now it's the biggest craze. As you guys know, everybody's talking about NFTing their projects, their films, their pictures, anything they can. So the purpose behind us doing this is because we want to be able to create a not, like, I guess you could say, a never ending foundation where there's always proceeds that will be put back into the cause of every documentary and project we do. So if this NFT sells again and has another, say, another craze in like 10 years, something else is happening in the world, those proceeds again are going to go back to the same project, same country, and help those people.
I love it.
So
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
exactly.
There you go. And we have about 2.5 minutes left. Paul, this is really important because it ties into the OG Pay, and that's really critical to the OG2G Corporation. But one of the key factors that's encouraging people, say, in Africa to use cryptocurrency is the cost of transferring money. The World Bank reported in 2020 that sending money to Africa via traditional bank transfer cost an average fee of about like 9% compared to the global average of about 6.5%. So sending money abroad or even receiving funds from overseas is littered with all these additional costs, including exchange rates. And this is where crypto is helping fill that gap. Talk to me about OG Pay and the fees versus the traditional methods. We have about a minute and a half.
Yeah, Zen, OG Pay is unique. It's been featured in places. The Money 2020 show was featured. It's been featured a lot of different places right now and starting to get a lot of traction because of just what you said. At the end of the day, and that's also the reason that OG2D mints NFTs on Algorand, because it's a multiple times less expensive, more efficient, more effective, and it really gives the creator more options with their content. And then being able to use OG Pay plugging into the back end of that NFT marketplace, allowing people to purchase NFTs using whatever cryptocurrencies is listed. So they don't have to be locked into an Ethereum purchase or locked into a this or a that purchase because the NFT happens to be minted on a particular blockchain. They can use even a credit card because actually, as we sit here today, yes, cryptocurrencies are a wave, right? No doubt about it, trending every day, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is a very small percentage of people in the world use cryptocurrency right now to buy anything, because it's quite difficult to go buy milk and bread with cryptocurrency. It's still not easy. So OG Pay makes that easy, but when plugged into the back end of an NFT marketplace like they have with the OG2D folks, that really matters a lot, because now it opens that world up and people can buy those NFTs in whatever way, with whatever type of currency they want to, and they can still house it as a digital asset.
It's beautiful. It's like it's a big monster. You've created the best platform with all of the artillery equipped with the most cutting edge technology and teams that are in place from AI to security across the board. I love it. Anna, thank you so much for bringing this project to light. It was such a pleasure having you on.
It was an honor to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Paul, always a pleasure. Guys, you definitely have to check out everything that a Burkhan World Project is doing. Check them out on burkhan.world. Check out og2d.com. It's an incredible platform that connects passionate fans with 100% authenticated and original NFT collectibles across the board. Paul, thank you so much. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Tempus, the next generation of the engagement economy, allowing people to make money on their data and earn cryptocurrency for the time they spend on things they already currently love to do. With Tempus, brands will have the ability to pay you directly for interacting with apps, watching videos, playing games, and more. Tempus, the time is now. Engage and earn.
Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Now, coming up on sport and hip-hop culture, we have the amazing 8-year-old boxer Ruby Tucker and her incredible trainer and dad, Kiwan. They're joining us in just a few minutes, and we're going to be chatting all things boxing and, surprisingly, kids. Now, boxing happens to be one of the most controversial sports in the world today. Many people are under the impression that boxing is only meant for the beasts of men in the world, but this couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, this beloved sport has had quite the glow up over the years and is now one of the best ways to improve your health. Boxing is fun, it builds lean muscle, and strengthens your heart and lungs. With that in mind, you may be wondering if boxing is suitable for kids. Well, with benefits like self-discipline, respect, and confidence, boxing seems like an incredible sport to help the little ones learn important skills. Boxing provides kids with essential skills that benefit so many aspects of their development inside and outside of the ring. Now, as boxing is an individual competitor sport, there's a higher focus on improving an individual rather than focusing on a large team. With that being said, it's easy to see how boxing can improve one's physical health dramatically. With one comes the bundle of happiness, the feel-good hormones that could greatly boost a child's self-confidence, so on and so forth. And young fighters soon learn that not keeping your anger in check during a match is a sure way to lose the bout. Intense emotions tend to lessen concentration, and a good boxer will always develop self-awareness and good emotional control. Sure, this can be said for many sports out there, but boxing comes with the added bonus of teaching self-protection and self-defense. Furthermore, through boxing, kids can learn the arts of discipline and self-improvement. Youth boxing is an incredible sport for kids and inspires self-confidence, respect, trust in others, and promotes determination and self-mastery at really a very young age. At first glance, boxing for kids may sound dangerous, but take it from me as a mom, when you really dive into the incredible benefits that come from youth boxing, signing your kid up is a no-brainer. Joining us now is Ruby Tucker and her dad, Kiwan. Ruby is 8 years old, an only child, born and raised in New Jersey by mama and dada. She began training to box at age 3 years old, very impressive. Usually has training sessions 3 days a week, and each session lasts 4 hours. Ruby plans on becoming a professional boxer and hopes to work hard enough to one day become a champion in the sport. She's been featured on ABC, NBC, Access Hollywood, The Post, ESPN, and that's just to name a few. Kiwan, her dad, runs a youth boxing gym full-time. Welcome to the show, my superstar, beautiful daddy and daughter duo.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. Ruby, I have seen your amazing videos. Now, you're 8 years old and you have been boxing since you're 3. This is obvious, but other than a boxer, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Well, I have many things that I want to do. Well, basically, what I really want to do outside of boxing, like what I really want to do besides boxing was be a police officer, maybe like do different kinds of things to help people that don't have anything or struggling with stuff.
I love that. So again, falling into the context of something involving discipline. Love it. This has to do with your dad. Dad, tell me, you have been training her, and although you're not a professional boxer, you run a youth sports gym in New Jersey. You're very active on social media. She has an active following under Ruby Tucker, at Ruby Tucker. Tell me, when you started training her at 3 years old, was it just, let's just see what she could do, or were you going somewhere with it?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me, and thanks for having both of us actually. And yeah, it was just, I come from a rough neighborhood in New Jersey, and so many people that come from those type of neighborhoods know how important it is to kind of at least have some type of knowledge on defending yourself. So that's really what it was. I just wanted her to kind of know how to defend herself just in case she ran into any issues, and she just caught on to everything so fast. So it kind of took on a life of its own, but it was never planned for me to, like make her a boxer or anything like that. That's just the way it happened.
But as a result of Ruby, you now have Zilla Boxing Club, or was Zilla before Ruby ever really kind of showed uh, excelling at the sport, really?
This is all because of Ruby. Zilla Boxing Club exists solely because of what me and Ruby have been able to do through our hard work and dedication. I give her all the credit all the time. People say, you're a great dad, you're a great dad. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be that. Ruby, on the other hand, has never let me down a day in her life, man. She's never quit on me. She's always had my back, and she's just my heart. So Zilla Boxing Club it started solely because of Ruby.
That's so beautiful to hear as a mom. I just got chills that ran down my spine. And solely because, guys, for those of you that are listening and not watching yet, you have to check this duo out on Instagram. It's at Ruby Tucker, correct? At Ruby.
At Team Ruby NJ.
At Team Ruby NJ, apologies.
Yeah.
At Team Ruby NJ. And at Team Ruby NJ is a page where you will land on to see her train with her dad. He has her training across the board. She's on the treadmill blindfolded. They are sparring. They are doing things that your average adult would have a really hard time keeping up with. Ruby, tell me, what does your training routine look like?
So basically our training routine looks like, so we just got this like bar thing that has a noodle on it, and like this thing that swings around is supposed to hit it. And then yesterday we sparred, and then the first show that we basically did before we did the sparring was we did like the bar with hard hooks, and then we pulled back, like we did like full hard hooks. Then we pulled back and then did like certain drills out of like 2 catch 1, something like that.
Hey, Mama, but what is your what is your training routine? What do you do every day when you start training, when you get to the gym?
I'd stretch, and then we start to like do like a little bit of things like jabbing, moving around the ring, like certain head movement things and things that you're supposed to do always in the ring. And then sometimes we start to do pad work. Maybe we start to go on the bar and do different kinds of other things.
So you see, what's really happening, guys, is dad is strategically training her for not just the love of the sport, but you're right. This is self-defense at its best, in the sense that now here you are, you've given birth, you're responsible for this incredible soul, and you think to yourself, okay, I have to equip her not only with the physical ability, but I need her to be swift and smart, and I need to make sure that anything that comes her way, she could fight off both physically, emotionally, and mentally. And essentially what you've done is you have equipped her with so much discipline that this is fun for her, but when push will come to shove, her skills really come shining through. Now, I commend you for that, because I've watched your videos, and the number one reason you are on the air right now, my friend, is because I've seen your daughter and I've seen her in training mode, and the videos caught my attention online. And as a mother, I thought, wow, she's fast, she's on it, she has every skill you need to go pro. And it all begins with the discipline of what dad has lined up, but you're doing it in a way where it's fun for her. And that's the captivating part. She's come such a long way. You have a beautiful business because of this. Now, Rudy, do you think that your dad training makes all the difference? Or do you think that you would have come as far as you've come regardless of dad?
Well, I think that like I like how he made me into the sport, because I never knew that I was actually like good at the sport, but he pushes me, and also it's also useful because boxing could also not get beat up and all those other things, and he always wanted me to be protected. So this is a good thing for me to have and like be helpful and protected for myself.
You are so
Things
cute.
that's not there, so I can protect my own self.
I love it. I love it, Dad. You've raised a soldier. She's a warrior.
Mhm.
She may be president one day. Tell me. So you have the discipline of, you know, at certain times of the week, extracting her out of her routine. You go into heavy training. You train 4 hours at a time. You plan on going pro. She is the face of your business. She is really your heart, your everything. You must have a great family uh, interwoven platform for you to be able to be so grounded and so focused, even coming out of what sounds like was a really scary childhood, so to speak, and where you grew up. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, definitely have a great family structure, man. My father was heavy in my life. He raised me and my brothers from day one. Irregardless of the situation, he was there. And one thing he told me that always stuck with me was never let another man raise your child if you can help it. So I carried that along with me all through my youth, and I knew when I had a child, I would live by his example. And it was many people have dealt with, worse than I've dealt with, but I had a great, strong family structure. I still do to this day. Her mom is amazing. Her mom, I wouldn't be able to do any of this without her mom's support. Her mom sees the importance in it. And, it's just great, man. We just have so much support, not just from family, from friends and even strangers, and, all of it's appreciated.
This is so beautiful. What is mom's name?
Her mom name is Theo.
Theo. Well, you know what? Look, at the end of the day, your family structure, your discipline, your ability to not only have Ruby be an exemplary role model to other children her age, but really on the path to being a professional boxer. Because anybody, I mean, Floyd Mayweather, if you're listening, we've hung out in the past. Alvina Alston, you should check her out. These are people that need to know about Rudy Tucker. And so at the end of the day, Ruby Tucker, and the most important thing is when I see all of this advancement that social media has contributed to your platform, it's so heartwarming because at the end of the day, Ruby has built an empire in the 8 years of her existence with your help. Ruby, do me a favor. Tell me if you had one wish in the world right now, what would it be?
To become a champion.
I love it. Everything is always coming back to boxing, which is great because that really just shows the passion and the drive of a child so early on. So you already know the destiny there. Now, more importantly, have you ever been outside of the tri-state area? And if there's one place in this world that you could be at right now, other than New Jersey, where would you go, Ruby?
Maybe I would like to go to New York, or maybe like some other place like
A place you haven't been. A place you haven't been. Like a country
Nepal or like
Nepal. Oh, that's that.
I don't know.
She pulled that one out of the hat.
Like interesting countries.
Interesting countries. I totally agree. I think you are a world traveler, my friend. You're going to travel many places. You're going to do many great things with the help of your mom and dad by your side. You will conquer everything and anything. And it all begins with great roots and good family settings. So thank you for both coming on the show. A Moment of Xen was so happy to have you. It's amazing to see this amazing progress from just such a young soul. And Dad, it all begins with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. And like I said, she deserves all the credit. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do as a father. She allows me to be, she makes me look better than I am. And I thank her all the time, man. She's the most beautiful, intelligent, wonderful, special thing I've ever seen. The best thing I've done with my life. And, I just love it. And I appreciate you for allowing us to be a part of your platform.
It's my honor and it's my pleasure. Thank you both for coming on A Moment of Xen. Guys, please check them out. Zilla at Zilla Boxing Club. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Xen Sams. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Revere Securities. Revere is committed to building a relationship of trust in which they work closely with you to help you define your objectives, explore alternatives, and choose the financial and investment strategies that are most appropriate for you. Go to reveresecurities.com.
Beautiful people, you're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I am your host, Zen Sams. Now, I have taken you behind the scenes of the TV series Gravesend, and we are right here chatting with the creator, director, and actor himself, William DeMeo. And this is day one of shooting here in the tri-state area. William, congratulations on yet another accomplishment. Here we go with season 2.
Thank you very much. Very exciting. Great to be back shooting in Brooklyn, where I grew up, and seeing so many great people that I haven't seen in a while, and all the love we get. Today's location is a very dear friend of mine. Being able to shoot at my friend Fran's home and Bergen Beach right now, and working with day one Fran Drescher and Armand Asante and some great people. My friend Steve Maturano and Tony Luke. My friend Kevin Lubick. Today was a great first day to start.
So how does it feel? Here you go in your career, all these years later. You're quite accomplished. You've not only are directing in this particular case, but you're also a writer. It feels like the weight of the world should be on your shoulder right about now. You have a lot at stake here. What keeps you so calm?
Well, having great people around me and having a good support team and having people that watch my back. I'm blessed to have very good people in my corner, a great team around me. I can, my producer Michelle Francescos and my son Christian, and just great people that are watching my back and being there to help me. Helps make me calm, having people I trust, really good camera crew, and just everyone they help keep it together. So, and after a while, when you do this for so long, and you've made multiple movies, you're kind of used to the pressure. It's kind of like you just get used to it. It's kind of like that's what it is. I'm not saying that, of course, there's a lot on the line and definitely have sleepless nights, but you just keep your confidence.
You keep going, and
exactly.
what you're saying, of course, it's all about perseverance and going where there is no path and leaving a trail. And of course, I always say to people, when you have a great support system and you walk into positive energy fields, and whether you're on a film set, whether you have an entire village here. And for those of you just tuning in, we're talking to creator, writer, director, producer. I don't know how many hats William wears, but we're talking to William DeMeo right here on the set of Gravesend, the series. You guys have to definitely check them out at Gravesend Series on Instagram. But more importantly, coming back to season 2 and all the accomplishment that this show has had very early on, you keep coming up with these creative characters. You do a lot of research. You're very well schooled on the portrayal of these mafioso types in the 1980s, especially right here in Brooklyn, where it's your hometown. And of course, West Street, let's throw that back in there. West Street Productions is the name of his production company. And of course, bringing it back to family and tying it back to where he grew up. William DeMeo just so eloquently named his production company West Street, which is great. And I love that about you. But tell me, you should be ecstatic that you're filming back home. And how is it different than filming in Miami?
Well, we had a great time filming in Miami, and a lot of people from Brooklyn now live in Florida, in the Miami area, so I was surrounded by a lot of great friends and people, but there's nothing like being home. There's nothing like being in my neighborhood. I can't even express to so many people out there that have opened homes, restaurants, given us props, cars, anything. People are so helpful, and they're behind the project because they know it's being done independently. They know it's not something that we have tons of money, and they back us. I mean, I can't thank people enough that they just get behind me. There's nothing I have to say, like growing up here and the people that have supported me, it's amazing to have support like that. People that don't even say, well, whatever you need.
And support system is exactly how you create something as wonderful as this, because it does take a village, and you would be very naive, not you particularly, but one would be very naive to think that you could pull this off on your own. That would be a very narcissistic, sociopathic kind of way, which a lot of people in Hollywood actually are bred to portray. But you know what? Not William DeMeo. He's a good friend. He's a good father. He's a good family guy, but more importantly, he's a great talent. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you for talking to me today.
Well, and everything that you said, I thank you, and I feel the same way about you. You're amazing. You're a great mother, a great wife. You're beautiful. You work hard. You don't stop. And I applaud you so much, really.
Well, we applaud each other. It's definitely a love affair. You're going to hear more from the two of us very soon, but I'll throw it right back to you listeners right now. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Zen Sams. We'll be right back.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the memories. Go to get your spin on. Go to get your spa on. Go for the bubbles in your bathtub and in your drink. Go for the steaks and the steak. Go for him. Go for her. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
We are at the end of our date, my dear friends. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 9 to 10 p.m. Or go to 710wr.iheart.com/A Moment of Zen. Remember, we're now on TV. Download the KP Media TV app on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Android TV. Tune in and watch .kpmedia.tv and catch A Moment of Zen on the Impact Live channel Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. Remember to tune back in next Saturday night. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. And remember, happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it.